We are honored to have Paul Kakert with us today on Iowa Screen Scene. And Paul, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do?
I have a nonprofit called Storytellers International, and the mission of Storytellers is to produce documentary films, and as far as producing, promoting, distributing, kind of to be its own source for getting the films out there. And Storytellers International then has a website that we've started, a kind of a film lovers community website called documentarytv.com, and that's our main way of getting our films out there, getting feedback from the people who see them. Another film just completed that will air on Iowa Public Television this fall is called Train to Nowhere, Inside an Immigration Death Investigation. That is a story that came to me through a writer named Colleen Krantz, who was a writer for the Des Moines Register in 2002, when a rail car with 11 dead bodies showed up in Denison, Iowa. She researched that story, got very involved in it, and subsequently wrote a book about it. And now we have turned that into a documentary film. And that is a story about these 11 immigrants crossing the border illegally, some of them from Guatemala, all from different areas of Central America. And it's a very unique immigration story in that we've tried to remain very neutral in the whole debate about illegal immigration into the U.S., and we center the story on a couple of key characters in there, one being the brother of one of the teenagers who died in that rail car, and the other being the INS agent who actually led up the investigation here in the U.S., who himself was a son of an illegal immigrant, and he's now working border patrol and helping keeping people out of the country. So there's some interesting dynamics there. A friendship grows between two very unlikely people, and we think it's a very unique human drama story that just happens to be centered around immigration. So it's a unique kind of story.
I have seen Train to Nowhere, and it is fabulous, and I'm so eager to see it when it plays on Iowa Public Television again. Can you tell me, I know that I had talked to both you and Colleen, and it follows along, I think surprises came your way as you were making this documentary. And could you tell us about some of the things that you were surprised about in making the documentary and the interesting people and things you found out?
Well, I think the biggest surprise to me, and I think the biggest surprise to everybody, is when you find out the personalities involved. I think part of the story is somewhat what you expect, where you have a couple generations from Guatemala. One was an older brother who came in here illegally, eventually became a full U.S. citizen and started a business, did very well for himself. So you see younger siblings seeing that as, that's what we need to do. I want to do exactly what my brother did. And I think, that's what people expect. That's the story people expect. What I didn't expect is the INS agent who, like I said, who himself, his grandparents were illegal immigrants. So that is his background. Who has then taken on a role of then protecting the border and keeping people out. So that was a big surprise, and he kind of wrestled with that himself, and he talks about being of Mexican descent and working border patrol. And when he would, be out in the desert and he would find the illegal immigrants crossing, and he'd arrest them and take them back, and they would say, "Hey, you're one of us. What are you doing?" And his reply would be, "No, I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm legal, and you're not." And so I think that's the most interesting part of the story there.
And it came as kind of a surprise. That was just kind of an extra bonus, because the story itself is fascinating, but that was just kind of an extra bonus as well.